The Young and the Restless spoilers. Tuesday full update. The 4th of August 2026. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel for another deep dive into the madness of Genoa City. Today is Monday, a beautiful day to talk about our favorite messy families. We have a ton of ground to cover today, so grab a coffee and let's get into it. The August 3rd episode of The Young and the Restless just aired, and my head is honestly still spinning from all the emotional whiplash. I mean, the writers really decided to just throw everything at the wall today to see what sticks. We've got emotional homecomings that get ruined in record time, rehab nightmares that look like they belong in a horror movie, and the kind of blatant Newman hypocrisy that makes you want to throw your remote at the television screen. And I've been covering this show for a long time, you guys know that. But sometimes I just have to sit back and ask, what are they thinking? Who actually believes any of these people are going to get a happy ending? Let's start with the Sharon situation, because, let's be real, Sharon never gets a break, ever. So Mariah Copeland is finally back in Genoa City. The doctors at the mental health treatment facility finally gave her the green light to come home, and she surprises Sharon. It should be this beautiful, heartwarming moment. Sharon has been through absolute hell lately. Between the cancer, her own bipolar struggles in the past, and all the recent hostage trauma with Matt Clark, she just needed a win. And Mariah tells her mother that she's been doing the work. She says she has learned how to suppress those dark thoughts, and she really wants to live in the light now. It's actually a really touching scene. You can see how much Sharon just wants to wrap her arms around her daughter and protect her from the world. But of course, this is Genoa City. We can't just have nice things. We can't just have a quiet, happy family reunion. Because literally 5 seconds later, the bubble completely bursts. Noah Newman walks in with Sienna, and they drop a massive, mood-ruining bomb on the whole situation. They are leaving. They are packing up and moving to Los Angeles for a while. Just like that. Noah says they have to get away from Matt Clark. And honestly, I don't blame him at all. After everything that happened in Vegas, after being tied up in that abandoned gas station while Matt played his twisted mind games, Noah is traumatized. He tells Sharon and Mariah that if he stays in town and keeps seeing Matt's face, he is going to do something stupid. He knows he will snap. He is choosing flight over fight, which is probably the smartest thing a Newman has done in a decade. But poor Sharon, she just got Mariah back. She was so close to having her family whole again. She was ready to be the strong matriarch, to support Nick through his rehab, and to just have her kids safe under her roof. And now her son is running across the country to escape a psychopath. After Noah explains what Matt actually did to them, Mariah completely understands why they have to leave. Sharon understands too, but she is just so crushed. You can see the absolute defeat in her eyes. It is just so unfair. Why does Sharon always have to suffer? Every single time she gets a tiny sliver of happiness, the writers just rip it away from her. Maybe I'm being too harsh on the writers, but it really feels like a pattern. And speaking of patterns of suffering, let's talk about Nick Newman, because Nick is struggling badly. He is in rehab right now, trying to kick this pill addiction that seemingly snuck up on him out of nowhere. But the detox process is brutal, and his mind is completely turning against him. We see him having these horrific, vivid nightmares. In the dream, he is just ripping open bags of pills, frantically swallowing them, completely out of control. And the worst part? Noah is dead in the dream. His son is dead, and Sharon is standing there, screaming at him, accusing him of failing to protect their boy from Matt Clark. This nightmare shakes Nick to his absolute core. He wakes up in a cold sweat, completely rattled, and for a second, he actually regrets checking himself into rehab. He thinks maybe he should have just dealt with it on his own, which is crazy, because we all know he couldn't. He was spiraling. But you can see the sheer panic setting in. He has to literally talk himself down in the room. He tells himself he has to be strong. He has to push through this for his family. But let's be real. Nick is hanging on by a thread. The guilt over not stopping Matt, the fear of losing his kids, it is eating him alive. I don't know if a standard stint in rehab is going to fix this level of deep psychological trauma. Then we have Victoria Newman. Oh, Victoria. What in the world was she thinking with this scene? She actually tracks down Kyle Abbott to have a little chat about peace. Yes, you heard that right. Victoria Newman is begging for peace. She tells Kyle how happy she is that her parents, Victor and Nikki, are back together and engaged again. And she says she just wants everyone to be happy. She literally pleads with Kyle not to plan any revenge against the Newmans. She wants to end the cycle of violence and retaliation that their fathers started decades ago. And I am just sitting there watching this like, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me right now? Victoria has the nerve to ask for a truce after everything her family just pulled. After Victor manipulated Lily and stole Chancellor Industries. After he completely dismantled Phyllis's Summers conglomerate and forced everyone to quit. It is just so wildly hypocritical. It is exactly what the Newmans always do. They burn the whole town down. They take everything they want. They destroy careers and lives. And then when they are standing on top of the ashes holding all the cards, they suddenly want peace. It is infuriating to watch. But thank God for Kyle Abbott, because Kyle is not having it today. He completely reads Victoria to filth, and it is glorious. He points out the blazing hypocrisy of her request. He tells her straight to her face that she would not be preaching about peace and love if Jack had done to Victor what Victor just did to the Abbotts and everyone else in Genoa City. And he is so right. Kyle reminds her that the Newmans always get off easy. Always. They never pay the real price for their actions. Kyle literally lays it all out for her. He says the Newmans haven't had to deal with the real, visceral trauma lately. They haven't dealt with kidnappings, or stabbings, or near-death experiences the way the Abbotts have. I mean, Diane was literally just held captive by Patty Williams and that creepy doctor, Markham. All the pain, all the chaos in Genoa City right now, it all traces back to Victor's machinations. Victor caused all of this damage, and now that Victor has his company back, now that he has Nikki back, he wants to call a truce? Kyle is just disgusted, and honestly, I am cheering for Kyle here. Which is weird, because sometimes Kyle really annoys me, but today he is the voice of the fans. And to prove Kyle's point perfectly, the show cuts to Victor and Nikki at the ranch, and they are living in an absolute fantasy world. They are sitting around, sipping drinks, discussing how Victor has changed, how he is so much more forgiving now. I literally laughed out loud at my screen. Forgiving? Victor Newman? Since when? They are planning this grand, romantic getaway to Venice to celebrate their reunion. They want to show the world that they are united and strong, and they agree not to let anyone think they have gone soft just because they are happy. It is just wild how insulated they are from reality. Everything is perfect in their little world. They have zero self-awareness about the absolute destruction Victor has caused over the last few weeks. The ruined careers, the traumatized family members, the corporate theft. They just don't care. As long as Victor gets what he wants, and Nikki has her ring back on her finger, they think the universe is in perfect balance. They are completely oblivious to the collateral damage. It is honestly a little sickening, but it is also classic Y and R. The mustache always wins, and he never, ever apologizes for the bodies he leaves behind. Meanwhile, on the Abbott side of town, Jack and Diane are having a very different kind of conversation. They are actually talking about revenge, or rather, deciding not to take it right now, which is a huge shock. After everything Jack has been through, after he literally choked Martin in the park because he was so feral with rage over Diane's kidnapping, he is choosing to step back. Diane and Jack agree that they need time to heal. They just want to enjoy being together and process the trauma they've survived. And it makes sense, I guess. Because the immediate threats are finally neutralized. Lawrence Markham has finally been arrested, thank goodness, and Patty Williams is locked up in a maximum security prison where she belongs. So the people who directly kidnapped Diane and tortured Jack's mind are gone. They are behind bars. Jack and Diane feel like they can finally breathe again. They want to put the darkness behind them and focus on their marriage, which is healthy. It is the mature thing to do. It shows growth for both of them. But there is always a but in this show. Kyle is not on the same page as his parents. The episode heavily hints that Kyle is furious about Jack and Diane dropping the ball on revenge against Victor. He feels like they are letting Victor get away with murder, or at least corporate murder, and emotional abuse. Kyle doesn't want to pause. He wants blood. He wants Victor to pay for manipulating everything and everyone. And the writers are setting it up so that Kyle might just go rogue. If Jack and Diane won't fight back, Kyle will. And that is going to make Kyle look like the bad guy. If he launches an unprovoked attack while Victor is out here preaching peace to Victoria, the rest of the town is going to think Kyle is the aggressor. It is a brilliant, twisted setup by the writers. Kyle is going to take the fall for starting a war that Victor actually provoked in the first place. I can just see it now. The Abbott family is going to be divided. Jack wanting peace, Kyle wanting war. Victoria probably using her weird romantic tension with Kyle to manipulate him or confuse him even more. It is going to be a disaster. A beautiful, messy, soapy disaster. So yeah, That is where we are at, you guys. Mariah is back, but overshadowed. Noah is fleeing to LA. Nick is losing his mind in rehab. Victor and Nikki are delusional in Venice. And Kyle is about to start World War III all by himself. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody. Not a single person. But we are going to keep watching anyway, because we are addicted to the mess. We just can't look away.